Hi beauties, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, my name is Tippy, your therapist. I am a certified health and skincare specialist, sharing my knowledge that I've acquired throughout the years with you. So if you know, when it comes to healthcare, beauty care, body care, skincare, whatever care it is, you have no knowledge when it comes to it, ensure to subscribe and hit on the notification bell so you do not miss out on all my weekly videos that I put up, giving you all the tips and tricks that you need. So this week's video is a bit different from the videos that I've done, and it is something that I had to really think hard about if I want to do it or not. But I think it is important for me to give you a background on how I actually got onto or into the beauty industry, and how did I come about into studying this, and to help those who actually want to go into this field, who are considering it, or for anyone in general who is curious or who needs guidance or needs to know someone else's story to understand and to be able to make a decision maybe when it comes to their career. Because yeah, guys, careers are, yeah, they are a whole lot when it comes to deciding and you sticking to what is true to you, and you sticking to what you believe is what you should be in, not because of the pressure from our parents or friends or society, but mainly because of what makes you happy. That's the only way you'll be able to decide what's the best route to go when it comes to your career. So because it's more of like a storytelling, it is going to be a bit touchy in some situations, and hence I've got my oros with some percentage in it. To calm the nerves down. One more. All right, and again, guys, I need to tell you, I have a blister, and I think that's another reason why I'm not doing one of my normal videos, because I usually do them so up close. I had a blister like 3 days ago, and now it's like, crust and all of that, and hence I even have bright lipstick on to try to discolor the whole situation that's happening on my lips. So I'm not happy about that. But anyways, so let's start with high school, I think. So in high school, I'm not sure, when I got to grade 10. So yes, so throughout high school, I always thought that I was going to be an air traffic controller. Yes, even in ELO when we had to do assignments or whatever. Yeah, I remember we had a career assignment to decide what career you wanted to go into, go do some more research on it, and I was very certain that I was going to be an air traffic controller. And I don't know where that disappeared to when I got to like grade 11, I think, because I just had this interest in psychology, and I think not necessarily psychology like clinical psychology, but more of sports psychology. I wanted to be a sports psychologist, and I think it was also inspired by, what's this movie called? The one with Queen Latifah, and she's like a sports, I'm not sure if she's a sports psychologist on that movie. But she rehabilitates this guy, and not only just physically but also mentally. I mean, they end up dating at the end, but that's not the whole point. I forgot what it's called, but those who know it, put it down below in the comments just to remind me. So it was also inspired by, I was like, this is something I would enjoy doing, because I was very active in high school. Yeah, I did quite a bit. Yeah, I did some sports, yeah. So I thought, okay, I'm into sports, I like being active, and I am into psychology. 1 plus 1 cost too, you know. So I was like, yeah, okay, this is it. And then I found out that I think I could do it at UP, yeah, University of Pretoria. I think I could do that there. So I applied when it came to that stage of applications. We even went to UP with some of my friends to, what is that called? The open day thing. And I found out all the information I needed to, and I was like, plus I wanted to go far away from home. I mean, Pretoria is not far from Joburg, but it is quite a distance. So I was very excited to just be a bit further away from home. And Pretoria was good because it wasn't too far, but it also wasn't too close. So that was the only university I applied to, UP. Hi, did UP accept me? No, because I don't know, there was some space situation and I needed to reapply again the next year. So, I mean, not to say I was discouraged, but I was so set in stone that I'm going to UP, and I didn't even feel the need to apply anywhere else. I mean, I did want to go to Cape Town. I did not want to be close to Joburg at all. So I did want to apply to Cape Town, but I just knew financially it was not going to work out for me. So I did not even try, I guess. And yeah, it was just like, no, UP, that's it. I think I fell in love with UP going to the open day, and then my heart was set in stone, and I was like, this is it. And when I didn't get accepted, I wasn't also discouraged. Like I say, I felt like, okay, I'll reapply again the next year when my results come out, and I'll do sports psychology. Fine. So I did that, and then September, because I think that's when Wits has its final closing, the last day even, I think it was the 30th of September. I was from Rustenburg, from visiting my father. I was from Rustenburg. This huge bag, I was gone for holidays or something like that, I don't know. I had this huge bag, and my friend, my best friend, Nolutando, shout out, she called me while I was in the taxi coming back to Joburg. This was the 30th of September, I believe. And she called me while I was still in the taxi. She was like, where are you? I'm at Wits and I'm applying. I'm here with my mom. So I'm like, girl, now I'm from Rustenburg. I'm coming. But you know what? Because the taxi from Rustenburg passes through Braamfontein, and it's just the street before where Wits is. So I was like, okay, I can get off there and everything will just be much more easier. I was just thinking of my luggage, but I mean, it was only just one street until I get to the university, so I did. So I got off, fine. I met her there. They were still in the line. I joined them, and then we applied. And that was the second university I applied to, and that was the last. Yeah? And then come results, before I even saw my my statement or even the newspaper, I already knew I passed because Wits sent me an SMS telling me that I've been accepted for BA psychology. Okay? So when I was applying there, because remember, I didn't plan this thing. I was in my mind, I'm only thinking sports psychology. Anything else, I'm not thinking, the second option, third option, no. In my mind, I'm just like, sports psychology, this is me. So when I get there, luckily, Notando's mom, she's a teacher and she was quite helpful and she knows these things. And she's just like, yeah, I have a second option, because I put there psychology. I didn't even know it's called BA. So, so I put psychology there, and she was like, have a second option, you never know, you're not always going to get accepted for what you want to study. So, okay, fine, I put education as the second option, because she was like, you'll never go wrong with education in any case, So I was like, okay, sharp. So I put psychology and I put education as my second. So I got in my SMS on the results day that, girl, you've been accepted to come and study BA at Wits. So I'm like, okay, fine, cool, you know. But now, here's the thing. I have no clue. In my mind, I'm thinking I'm going to study psychology. I'm not going to study BA. I don't know what a BA is. I'm going to study psychology. So fine, okay, I get to varsity. So now this is orientation week. And I get there and they're showing us where East Campus, West Campus is, and they're telling us all about the campuses. And now here comes the point of the course. They're telling us that we need to pick subjects or modules for the course. So I'm like, hey bo, kind of this psychology. Isn't psychology standard? Isn't there a curriculum for psychology? This is what you need to study, right? Because remember, psychology, sports psychology in my mind. Fine. So I'm like, okay, let's see what is happening. So I meet this girl, Candace. Candace helped me throughout that whole process. She's like, no, girl, let's go to Umtombo building. Candace always knew, guys. Candace always knew stuff. She was always clued up. She was very vakkervort. So, so we go to Umtombo, and then now that's where we're going to pick our modules, and we're going to get guidance, career guidance from the lecturers and all of that who were there for each module, right? Fine. So I get there and they're telling me you must pick 4 modules for your BA degree. I'm like, huh? Okay, fine. He's like, yeah, you can. So now there's like your politics, there's history, there's linguistics, anthropology, sociology. And I'm like, I just want to study psychology. All of these things, what is this? Okay, fine, I pick. So how I made my my decision, okay, firstly, I knew because I wanted to do psychology, that was number 1. And then I picked history as number 2. Ne? Why? Because I couldn't do history in high school, so this is now my opportunity to flourish, because I've always had an interest in history, so I'm going to do history in varsity. Okay, fine. My 3rd module, they're like, so I'm now thinking, okay, what, like now at this point, because I only want to do psychology, so I'm like, well, what is going to benefit me when it comes to my, degree? And I'm like, okay, fine, I'm going to do politics, I'm into what's happening in the world. I am into politics. Maybe, who knows, maybe I'll even go into law and stuff. Who knows? Ne? Fine, I pick politics. Now that's my 3rd module. The last one, hi guys, to be honest, I think I just picked it. I picked philosophy. Because I don't have a memory why I picked philosophy, but philosophy was one of the modules I took. Okay, fine. Now I'm registered for all of those. I'm going through varsity. The friends I met in varsity, I am very grateful for, because they opened my mind and my eyes. Why I say this? It's because they came from, I don't want to say from privilege, but they came from schools that were, the best schools. They came from private schools, and compared to me. So it was like, me being within such a group really made me realize that I don't know anything. Hey, I didn't learn anything in high school at all. So, and these people are talking about what is what? And I still had to go back and do more research and understand. I would sit there and I would listen to them talk, and I'm like, what is that? And I'll go back and Google and learn. So they really opened my mind to a lot. Shout out to you guys. They really opened my mind to a lot. And that's why I say, even if, you don't finish school or whatever, just school in itself, it's not there for you to learn the books. I mean, that's the whole idea. But school is important because it exposes you to things that you never thought of. The things I learned from listening to people, being exposed to them more than my curriculum and what my textbooks taught me. I had no clue. Like, there's one time, it was the last semester, the last term even, and we were writing a politics exam. So, like I say, I had good friends, and they were really focused. And I mean, as students, you know, we touch and go, but they were really focused, and they always knew that they wanted to do best. They were very involved with a whole lot of things in the university, and so they ensured that they would always excel in whatever they did. So being around those people helped me, because then we had study groups, and we didn't study every day together. We didn't do all of those things, and I mean, we didn't do all the same subjects. So the subjects that we did do, I remember politics, subjects like that, we did have study groups when it came to tests or exams. I remember exam season, I think that's when we did the study group thing. This is first year. So now, because now we're a big group and we're learning and we're doing all of those things, I learned that the books will not teach you. You will learn from people. I was going to write my politics exams, guys, and I did not know. This whole year I've been doing politics. I didn't know what communist was, ne? And I believe I did this in high school as well, but I don't remember. But when I got to varsity, I learned that. And trust me, we did this in our books. I've read about it and I've written about it throughout the year. But at that point, it was like, to me, what is that? Because I think we had to write an essay or something about communist and whatever. So I'm now confidently asking this Domkop, guys, what is what is communist? Well, I won't mention your name, but this one friend said to me, hi, Boit, hi, it's over for you, it's chai. Yo, guys. Then I realized, you know what? Relying on my textbook and relying on my lecturer is not gonna make me pass varsity. I need to do extra. I need to do more than I was doing, and I'm grateful for such friends. They really, really, really opened up my eyes and mind to a lot of things. So I passed my first year. Come second year. Second year came with a whole lot of challenges, and not just, in terms of education at school and Wits, Wits will give you the urge, guys. Yay! It will give you the urge. You will feel while you're studying there. Yay! But it was not just that. There was a whole lot of things happening in terms of family, finances, and I wasn't staying, because in our first year I was staying at res. My father couldn't afford to pay for my res anymore, so I had to stay with a family member, and staying with a family member, they were also going through whatever they were going through, and it was just a depressing stage of my life. And second year was a lot, okay? Mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, all the shialis that are there. Yeah, I was going through it in second year. And fine, I still had the dream of being a sports psychologist, and the dream was still there, and I think it's still there. But now things got so hectic for me that I couldn't deal with it. I passed my first semester, okay, fine, and even just passed, and it wasn't, compared to my first year was a complete breeze. Second year was deep. So um, now I came to a stage where I was so depressed. I remember I went to the vet's clinic to see a psychologist, and I only went for one session, and I just felt like, you know what, this is not gonna help me. Says the one who wanted to be a psychologist. I was like, this is not gonna help me. Or maybe I didn't have the right person or whatever it was, but it didn't work out how thought it would. And now the final exams were nearing and nearing, and I really felt like, you know what, I'm not gonna make it. I'm going to fail my second year. I could feel it. In as much as I tried to, study and really just forget about everything else that's happening, but just to focus on school, it was just too much. And I just thought to myself, you know what? I'm not going to watch myself fail, because I'm one person, I do not like to fail. More especially when I know that I put in my 100 in it and then I fail. That right there gets to me. And I knew that I was going to work really hard, but I just wasn't going to make it. I don't know. I could have been wrong, but I was not going to let myself go through that stage or that phase. So I didn't want to fail. So come final exams, I decided, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not writing my final exams. I'm not doing it. And I said to myself, I'm dropping out. This is it. And another reason for me dropping out was that I felt that it was important for me to get out of the situation that I was in compared to me getting the degree. Whew. I've never said that out loud. But yes, I needed to get myself out of the situation more than me getting the degree that I thought was so, glorious and so important for me to get. So I needed to work, or I needed to do something to bring in income to get myself out. And I also thought to myself, okay, fine, if I push, I only have one more year, just 1 year, for me to get my degree and get a job. I can bear through it. I can do it. But I was so much into my head that I thought to myself, if I take that route and I just bear through it just for one final, because the second year was done. I just needed to write my final exams, and I wasn't failing. I just was scared of writing my final exams. And I think maybe I was also scared because that meant that I needed to go for another year in the same environment, same mental state, same emotional state. And I was like, no, I'm not going to, I have to cut it here for me to get out. So I was also thinking, okay, fine, I finish, ne? I get my degree. There's so much unemployment. Who is going to hire? Because now I want to be a psychologist. Remember, my mind is still ringing psychologist. Who's going to hire a BA graduate with the psychology major? What are the chances that I'm going to get a job, a well-paying job, or if not even well-paying, but like something for me to be able to make means? So I was not convinced, and I knew that I needed to study further to achieve what I wanted to achieve. I needed to study further, I need to go do my honors, I need to do my masters. and PhD in order to have that psychology title, to be a psychologist. So it was not just the end of BA. And I knew my father was not going to finance that. And that thing of not knowing what to do and not knowing the next step, I think, who's going to finance what, who's going to do what. I'm gonna have the pressure that you're a graduate and you can't get a job, or you graduate and what do you mean you can't pay this or do that or do, and because I'm just working a mere job, I'm not at a high level or anything. A degree is just a degree at the end of the day. So I was that deep into my head, like I was thinking so much ahead of my future. Not to say that it was destined to be like that in my head, but I was not willing to take the chances of not being able to continue with my studies, because then I had to work to try to get my honors and so forth and so forth. And the unknowing as well, not knowing that there's help, not knowing that there's other ways to be able to finance myself and still finish school, and that lack of knowledge, I just didn't have that knowledge. So I thought to myself, you know what, in high school, I think it was matric, there's a school that came to our school, Isa Costin, which is a beauty school, right? And I was interested in that, but I just never pursued to find out exactly, further, because remember, psychology and the head. So I just left it like that. And then in that period, I was going to drop out. I remembered, you know what? You've always had an interest in massage. Why not go that route, And I mean, I was living in a community where there's a whole lot of old ladies and stuff that need massage, and I can go and massage and they can pay me a fee. But I wanted to, I'm one person, if I'm going to do something, I need to know how to do it right, so I can do it right. I'm not just going to do it because I know how to do it, it has to be done the right way. So I'm like, I'm going to study massage, and while I figure out what is happening and how I get myself out of this situation that I'm in, I am going to study massage, and me studying massage, I'll be studying something and I'm going to make income out of it. And that's how beauty is, You learn, you practice with people, they pay you while you're studying or you're practicing. And as you further your career, then, the more you charge or whatever, you advance better in your career, right? So I was like, keep line. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to study beauty. And the way God works as well, it's funny because in that period, there's a friend's friend. So this girl was studying at the school that I studied at. She was doing her exams and she needed clients to do her exams on. So I was one of the clients, and on the day that I went there, seeing everything how it was done, I was like, you know what? This is where I need to be. This is me. This is something I need to do. And I recalled high school back, that period where those people coming from Isa Custon and telling us about beauty. I recalled that. I was like, I shouldn't have ignored that, actually, because the thing when it comes to a lot of people, I would say teenagers, as we go into university, we feel pressure to go to a university and study things like law and mechanical, what, sciences and BCom, whatever, whereby if you're just going to study painting and painting is your passion, go and study it, because you're going to do the best thing You'll have all the knowledge you'll need to be the best painter than you really are, you know. So a lot of us feel pressured to go into those career fields because of expectations, and not just our parents, you know, society as well, our families. It's just, it's tough, man. It's tough on us. So on the day of the exam, that girl's exam, I decided to go and inquire. I got all the brochures and how much the fees will be and all of that. And a week later, after that, me being at that school and having all the information I needed, I was so certain that, you know I'm done. I'm done with Wits. I'm done with what I am studying at this point. I'm done feeling how I'm feeling. I was just done, you know. And everyone thought that I was joking when I said I'm gonna drop out, because, you know, I'm this focused girl. I know my plan. I plan everything, and it was like, what do you mean you are dropping out? You know, like, no, ha ha ha, jokes. You know, you're kidding. So I was like, okay, fine. That week before I dropped out, I was like, okay, fine, this is what I'm going to do. I spoke with my dad. And when I spoke with him, I was just telling him, you know what? I'm done. He was like, what do you mean you're done? And I'm like, I'm done with school. I'm done with this vid situation. I'm done studying what I'm studying. I'm done living what I'm living. I'm just done. And he was just like, you just have one more year, Boitshepo, just one more year for you to finish, because basically second year is done. I just needed to write my exams. So it's like, you're done, you know, it's just one more year. I didn't pay so much money for you to just drop out in second year. But I was like, nah, I'm done. And in any case, I've already done it, you know. I think I told him after I deregistered, actually. And he was just, I don't even think he also believed me. He was just like, yeah, she's just going through a phase. She's testing what I will think or what I will say. She's not, you know. And then I think we spoke a couple of days later, and I was like, I'm serious. I'm just not doing this anymore. And then he was just like, you know what? If that's the case, you're on your own. And I'm one person, once I've decided something, you cannot change my mind, even if it means at my own detriment or, you know, at my own disadvantage. If my mind is set on something and that is what I want to do, there's no changing my mind, because my mind is set and done. So it was like, okay, if that is what you are planning, see how you go, girl. Sort your own life out. I'm also done. Because girl, you know, I'm a very, in as much as I go through a lot, or maybe I might go through a lot in a moment, I'm an optimistic person. Now I always look at the brighter side, or I'm always looking for something better to do, you know. So I was like, okay, shit, fine, I'm on my own now. And I looked for a job. And when me looking for a job, I got a job for December in a retail company. And I worked that whole December. And now the whole reason why I was working as well was to pay for my fees, and at least if I could pay for my registration, which was 5,000, right, which I needed to pay in January. So the money I was gonna make from that retail gig job in December was what I was gonna pay for my registration. Okay, so I worked my butt off, and the money that I made from it was not, I think I was like 500 rand short for the 5,000. And like I say, how God works, you know, it is it is amazing because January, my father then calls me. He says to me, "Come through to Rustenburg. Let's talk about this thing." And I'm like, "Okay." So I head down to Rustenburg, and then I just tell him, it's too much. I can't, there's just a lot going on, and I'm just not in a state where I can continue with the pressure and with all the emotional and mental and all of those things. Burden on me is just too much that I can't, I cannot. And then he was like, okay, sometimes you need a break, you know? You need a break from something for you to get back into it again. So with this, I will take it as a phase. I will support you through it, and we will see how it goes. And he drove down to Joburg with me. We went to the school, and he did his own inquiries, and he was like, okay. And that was actually the first and last time my father actually came down to Joburg. No, not the last time, but yeah, I think he's probably came twice, but he never comes to Joburg. Well, doesn't tell me. But anyways, so him saying, you know what, it's okay. I'll carry you at that point was for me like, okay, all right. I am, maybe this wasn't a bad decision, So I studied beauty therapy, and when I studied that, I was like, you know what, I've already dropped out of something. I'm going to do this fully. So I ensured that I wasn't going to just do a massage certificate. I ensured that I go full throughout. And at that point, I didn't even know that UJ had somatology. The way when I'm focused on something, I don't even see other things or my other options. I'm just like, there. So, yeah, that school, fine. I did my first year, which is beauty therapy. I got my beauty specialist certificate, and I did my second year, and I did ITech as well in the first year, which is like an international qualification for beauty therapist. And then I did my second year, which was health and skincare diploma, which is the overall full diploma, but you can further on continue on top of that. So, and then in my second year I did my CDSCO, which is another international certificate. So these two international certificates make it easier for me to get jobs abroad. Hence I've worked on cruise ships. Without these qualifications, I wouldn't have been able to work on a cruise ship. So then I did my third year, and in my third year I also did my assessors, which is becoming a lecturer in the beauty industry. So I ensured to go all out, and that I don't drop out of it, and I do it fully. And I'm very proud of myself for doing that. And do I regret going into beauty therapy? No. Why? Because I just feel like beauty has opened so many horizons for me that I don't think I would have tapped into. I mean, if something is destined for you, maybe, who knows what I could have come across. But I feel like this was my journey. And before even applying in high school for any university, I was even thinking of going to study abroad. I wanted to study in Australia, to go study psychology there. I was Googling the best psychology schools or universities to study, and I think Australia was one of, part of those university. I don't remember the whole thing, but yeah. So I've always wanted to go abroad, and I feel like with beauty, it has opened that door for me to go abroad, be exposed to a whole lot of things, and not just the traveling, but in general, my work ethic and the appreciation of my field, because I've studied, and it's like when people, like, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a beauty specialist, or I'm a health and skincare therapist or specialist, or whatever we call ourselves, esthetician, all of those things. It's like, oh, what exactly is that? It's like, yeah, your beauty, your makeup, massage. Oh, my massage. Or it's like, oh, makeup. No, guys, no. In my first year, I do first year medical physiology and anatomy and physiology. So I mean, it isn't even in depth. Like, I've got a broad understanding of the body and all of those things. Um, so I would say with beauty, it has given me that confidence to be very prideful in what I do and to do it right, you know, and hence this channel as well. Um, it's to give an understanding to people of what we do when it comes to the beauty industry. It's not just making you look pretty or it's much more deeper than that. And it's not just the surface thing; it's a deeper thing. So, I want to achieve this with the channel for you guys to understand, and for professionals to also have pride in what they do. So yeah, that is how. I think it was a very long story. This is probably going to be my longest video. um, Let me know what you think in the comments below about my career path. If you have questions of how I overcame a lot of things, because I'm trying to cut it down on the whole story, but it is as long as it is. And so there's some things that if you feel like you want to ask me, or if you want to have a communication or chat about the beauty industry, if you're thinking of getting into it, yeah, hit me up in the comments down below, and I will surely get back to you. Or if you can relate, tell me what your experience was. I'll really like to know what your experience was and how you dealt with it, or how things unfolded for you. And if you love my content, go check out my other videos. There's much more depth. I've done a beginner skincare playlist for you guys, so you guys can understand more from beginning to final what skincare is and what is important when it comes to taking care of your skins. And as well, give me a thumbs up if you love my work, if you love my content, and ensure to share my page, ensure to share this video so that more people can be exposed to what I am sharing. And thank you, beauties. What else did I forget? Yes, like, share, subscribe to my channel, so that I can know that you guys are enjoying what I am doing and you want to come back for more, right? And yeah, what did I forget? Like, share, subscribe, and comment. I've done all of them. So yes, thank you so much, my beauties. Bye.